badly still.
Right.
His movement must be something he developed on stage.
That would weird me out. Seeing him not move, I'd be like, this is...
Well, we are live. We are ATX Comedy Review.
Heck yeah.
We have Derek Dimpfl back.
Hello world.
And we are here with Zack Leboza, who brought nice, refreshing Coors Light.
Thank you very much. Cheers,
We're
dude.
doing like a
Cheers, doggy. Yeah, come
ad
on.
read for Coors Light.
That's right.
Well, cool. So, yeah. Well, Derek, you have not been here this last week. You just got in town last night, pretty much, huh?
Yeah, Friday night.
Yeah. And Zach, you were here all week, obviously, because you didn't go anywhere.
No. I'm not a traveled man like Derek.
But we did Kill Tony on Monday. But let's see, last Sunday, I did the Hansa show was out, but I did catch Hannibal Buress at the fucking
What?
Yeah.
Where?
It was a standing room only show at Creek in the Cave.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so Casey Rocket opened for him, and you know how his
that
energy
has to be the two wildest.
Hell yeah.
So his energy was crazy. He was bouncing all over the place, but it was a standing room. So like it was like a concert. He kept on joking about like stage diving, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, so it was cool.
Yeah, this crowd surf bit. Yeah.
But Hannibal had music behind his jokes. He was doing stand up at first. He had some music. And then he just started rapping. He just went into some raps, and just did. Yeah,
I saw that online. I saw him rapping.
How did the crowd respond to it compared to his stand-up?
They liked it. I mean, it was his crowd. They were more into that kind of.
They were Hannibal Buress fans.
Yeah. So
they were going to be happy with whatever he did.
Yeah,
so long as he didn't fuck it
the
up.
rap I posted on the ATX funny was about him rapping about bowling. So it was like, it's not like he's like hardcore rapping or anything. It's
I think I saw that.
Yeah, it's.
Well, then again, the one Migo guy just got shot at bowling alley.
Yeah, so I guess that got some street cred. Yeah. 7-10 split, getting shot in the ribs. No, man. So you, speaking of getting shot in the ribs, you hurt yourself this week. Laughing.
Yeah, I was at a fucking the gym, and this piece of shit doing his New Year, New Me thing ran into the bar as I was benching, and it fell down on my ribs and like crushed them.
Oh, so you were in mid bench, and he just.
Yeah, it was like right when I got to the top, started coming down again, and then he hit it. And so it turns, and when it's not over your chest anymore, I couldn't keep it up. Fell down, got the bar off me. Some guy helped me.
That guy kept on walking?
No, he like stopped to say sorry, and he could just see how angry I was. And I tried to like swear at him, but I had no air in my lungs. So
Don't apologize right now. You help lift it off.
I'll kill you. Yeah.
That's crazy, brother.
Unless your arm's going to come out of your socket like SpongeBob SquarePants.
So you went to the doctor for it, though, right?
I went to work, and then I went to the doctor.
Okay, and then what the doctor?
And the doctor was basically like, "Hey, there's like these ones are definitely broken."
So you worked with broken ribs.
Yeah. And then he was like, I could take an x-ray if you just want to like hang the x-ray on your wall, but it's going to cost you, or you could just leave now and I'll pretend I talked to you.
Yeah,
well, that's cool. So they let you out?
Yeah.
Just confirm that they're broken?
Yeah, there's like nothing. He's like,
because that's what ribs do is like, you can't do, they just heal.
Yeah.
He's like, if you want to pay for the visit, I could prescribe you drugs, or I could just let you go. I was like, I can get drugs somewhere. I'm not worried about that.
Oh, that's funny. So, well, that sucks, bro. You got jacked in the gym.
Yeah.
So you weren't telling jokes, weren't looking at some guy's girlfriend. You're just doing your
trying to stay healthy.
Yeah. Damn, man. But Derek, you've been on the road. What were you doing this week?
Yeah, well, the last 3 weeks I've been road tripping around. The idea was to go see family in California, but I stopped in a bunch of places to do stand-up. So I stopped in Tucson, in Santa Barbara, San Francisco, San Diego, Phoenix, and Albuquerque.
Oh, wow.
And I did stand-up in all those places.
Now, did you contact like clubs and stuff before, or were you doing open mics, or what?
It was kind of haphazard in that, like, oftentimes my search for connections would begin the day before or the morning of, messaging my friends who I either knew had connections in those places or who I knew like very well connected. Like Mike Eaton, I messaged every single time I went to a new city.
Oh yeah, he knew where to go.
Well, and he has such an extensive network of of comedians, people that he knows, and then he's also been he's been one of the people who's helped get me. Well, he's basically gotten me every single out of town booking at the Irene show that I've had, and they've all been killers. And so I know that if he makes a recommendation, it's something that I can trust.
Right.
Yeah.
It's funny because he's like such a quiet guy. I don't talk to him much. He doesn't seem like. I was like, oh fuck, okay, that's cool. It's kind of why you have to get out there and like meet people and talk to them, so you learn these things about them.
It does
Maybe
happen.
he's quiet when he's on his own, but like when he's hanging out with a bunch of people, he's oftentimes the loudest one.
We played pool with Mike one night.
Yeah, I was so goddamn nervous.
we beat him. We made $5 off of him.
Yeah, we did, right? And I was but
big gamblers.
Right. Well, but before that is John Carden and Ty Rivera were hanging out and with it. And I can't remember if there are any other comics, but it was after one of these Irene shows, and so I was just scared shitless to be hanging out with these extraordinarily funny people, you know. And so I was doing the whole thing, like, I'm awkward, I'm a nerd, and these are the jocks or whatever.
These are the jock comedians.
Yeah, right. But they're the cool kids in school. Yeah. And so the first game of doubles I played with them, and I'm a pretty competent pool player on the balance of things. Not quite as good as Chad, but I'm pretty good. Chad is really good. Every single time it was my turn, I shanked the shot or I missed it. Like even there was this one that was really short. Well, we went to go play a couple games. And Chad was nice enough to play a couple games with me, help get my confidence back before we went back to that table. But Mike was like, you're not coming back unless we put money on it. He put $5 on it.
We had to pay for entry.
Yeah.
It's like stand up in New York.
But then we won. Although you did most of the lifting. I think that you sank 5 of the balls and I sank 2 or 3, something.
But in the second game when there was no money on the line, I choked on the 8-ball and they won.
Yeah.
So.
But that was the speed pool game that we played.
Yeah, it was the second. Yeah.
But that one felt good because I felt like I got some of my own back because I sunk 4 balls in a row on that game. So I'm like, okay, now I feel more comfortable. But yeah, I felt so embarrassed because I think John Carden, he's very nice, he's very polite, but I think he's kind of like he thinks I'm kind of an uncool guy. So it kind of sucked.
It's not just him.
Yeah, right.
What a crazy thought.
Thanks for that news. I haven't had 29 years to think about that one. Anyway, and then the first one I missed, Mike was like, wow, that's good because I was worried that you might be really good at angles.
It's like one of those scenes like in Hangover where all the math is flying by his head.
Right.
That's Derek playing pool. Okay, here's
But then it just comes down to the choking the shot.
I feel like there is a low-key like pool scene developing or even here in Austin.
Yeah. Well, because Rogan keeps on talking about liking pool, so everybody wants to play pool now. Yeah.
Oh, you mean amongst the comedians?
Yeah.
Well, amongst the comedians, and then like I know a lot of service. There's a place that has like service industry night where all like servers play free and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Well, we play shooters. You know,
shooters.
We do the challenge bike. It's obviously a pool hall. Comedians will hang out there and play pool.
I found really, really good players over at the Barton Springs Saloon.
That's down the street on the 7th. Is that where that's at? Or
No. That's down on it's on Barton Springs and Lamar. That's where it is. Yeah, it's like down by where people walk toward ACL. Near Zilker, and those people are really serious. Like I found that,
that always fucking weirds me out.
Huh?
I don't like serious. Like
they bring their own sticks.
Well, like, I had a bar in Florida.
My break stick over here. Yeah.
But that is silly. Like if a lot of comics are getting into playing pool just because Rogan likes. Well, playing
I don't know. I associate things like that. Yeah. You know, it just seems like he talks about pool a lot. Then also all the comics are playing pool. Right. You know, so. Yeah. You know, nobody listens to him, obviously, but
I sort of have a feeling like Mike Eaton and John Carden are people who genuinely enjoy pool. Doing that.
Yeah, I mean, if you hang out, if you do enough road comedy, you're gonna be doing
right. You're in bars, and so what is there to do but shoot pool?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that Tim Dillon talked about. He's like, me and him have nothing in common but comedy. And it's like, that's his biggest thing. If you do comedy, you don't need to be an MMA guy. You don't need to be.
Yeah, Tim and Joe.
He also knows the best pool players. He knows the best MMA. Yeah. Like, you're not going to be like, oh, I just started. And now we can be tight. Yeah. He's like, this guy could call any pool player in the world and be like, yeah, I'm going to play with you for 2 days straight. I'll be out there and I'll, buy a hall for us.
Yeah, no kidding. But, you know, it is funny to think that, you know, you could just be at a pool hall and be playing with Rogan one day. You know, that's what they all hope. You know, you'd be having their cues chalked up for. You know?
That's what all these comics are drooling over.
I wonder if he has his own guy.
I got some CBD. Would you guys like to share?
Oh no, you brought the CBD with you. Huh?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Is that from the Lazy Days? Or?
No. This is from a company called Lucy J's. They send me new joints.
Oh, you're sponsored now, huh?
Yeah.
you.
I've been sponsored for almost more than a year, I think.
Well,
Should we do an ad read?
How come we haven't talked about Lucy J's on the show?
Well, we can now. It's well packed. It draws smooth, and then the Delta 8 joints that they have, is sprayed on CBD flower, so you get all the calmness and none of the panic, and you just have a nice little high.
I like the panic.
You like the panic?
Keeps me active.
I mean, I think the panic sometimes keeps me honest. Like, I'm gonna push it a little bit, But then, but otherwise, the panic is like,
These are from the place you do the Tuesday.
No.
Oh no. Okay. Whoops.
That's why I asked earlier. It was Lazy Days.
Okay,
so that's Tuesday.
Yeah.
So, but Monday though, we did kill Tony again. Did not get called up.
Yeah.
They had the cheap drinks closed down next to us, so I was doing it sober, which was kind of.
What do you drink there?
I just drink like vodka.
They have cheap drinks for the comics? Or what?
No,
dude, for everybody. It's
for everybody?
$2.50 well drinks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You mean next door?
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Vulcan.
yeah. Vulcan, no, it's like $20 a drink there.
Right.
Yeah, fuck that.
Get Vulcan.
Yeah.
But at Buckshot.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't know why they were closed. Someone said there was something going on.
They the guy told me the night before. I actually walked by and he ran into me. The general manager guy who always he said that they were having their company party Monday night, so they weren't going to be open that day.
What dumb fucks?
Yeah, so they had their company party.
Do you want some?
No, I'm all right. I got it. So they had their company party. Do you have an ashtray though?
Do
you have something?
I'll find something.
Yeah.
Well, I have the plate. So.
Yeah, you got it, man. So they had their company party on Monday where they were going to be closed down. They had it someplace else. They didn't have it after work. They had something.
Doesn't he own like 3 bars on the strip? Too?
I don't know. Yeah, so I don't.
Yeah, there's Buckshot, and then there's.
They're all Buck something.
Yeah, Buck Wild. And then
do they all have cheap drinks like that or no?
I don't know.
Because they all have Buck in the name. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's ice in that bucket, by the way, if you guys want.
Cheers. Water.
Yeah. So
cool. I like these. Just a ton of different.
Yeah, this one's from the
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Do you buy these or do you jack them?
No, so when you get there's certain drinks that come with them.
Yeah.
These are actually bottomless iced teas though, because I just smoked a lot of weed and go to the comedy club. So yeah, we would eat like a lot of food and get like bottomless iced teas, and so they would give us. So after they'd give you VIP tickets to come back again, and then they'd be in these glasses. So we went like every fucking sometimes 3 times a week.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but
then it's like pretty cheap each time, if you just get the bottomless iced tea.
Yeah. It's $16 for iced tea, but
but it's bottomless.
But you get a glass.
I get a glass,
and get to come back.
We've broken so many of these things. They don't fit in the dishwasher very well, so they break.
You need the server dishwasher that we got behind the bar.
It looks like some kind of medieval goblet.
Yeah, we've broken more than we have now, definitely.
Well, it's what my girl steals glasses from plate. She's like 34. I'm like,
and she still steals? That's funny.
That's silly. That's very silly.
Well, because too, at some point she's gonna run into someone who's like had a bad shift or like a bad day, and they're gonna be like, "Yo, stop! Put the fucking glass back." And I have to be like, "Yo, man, calm down. Like, here's $20." Like,
that's funny.
Just be like, "No, it's the principal. Fucking your girl."
I always steal those little juice glasses because those are hard to find. The little glass
the little
juice glasses. Yeah.
The little cylinders.
Yeah. Those are nice.
With Amazon today, they're hard to find.
At certain restaurants, they're hard to find. Not
every restaurant has them.
I mean,
I still don't know the internet. I'm running 3 mics, 3 cameras.
We're live streaming.
Don't you tell me you don't know Google?
What's the internet?
Drop shipping orders from your CBD company.
That's gonna be I don't think we're gonna get away with it. When we're like super old, being like, I don't know what that is. They're gonna be like, you grew up with the internet, you know how to find everything.
Unless there's some kind of like fundamental shift in the way we interface with, like a paradigm shift in how we interface with technology. In that case,
Neuralink shit,
or whatever it is.
When we are computers, it's gonna be hard to be like, I have Alzheimer's. Like, no, you have 6 computer chips in your brain. You're fine.
Do you think that's where it's gonna go? Is we're gonna have the chips in our head?
Probably right now, unless we find better medicine for like dementia and shit.
What was that writer we were just talking about? No, Google Chat or no GB Chatbot.
Oh,
what is
that? That super smart AI that you can give these queries to, and it'll produce sophisticated results.
You know what's gonna be weird is people are gonna start marrying those.
Well, I just thought about, we use
I just saw some guy marry a sex toy.
Well, I get. Well, again, I know, like in Japan, like there's
smart.
been a man who's like married a cartoon character and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think that any of those unions
it's
are
not
as fulfilling as like a flesh and blood.
No,
person.
absolutely not. But
So,
like that's also how sad the world is.
But if your pocket pussy could talk to you, rate you when you come
hey,
home.
Derek, that joke is great.
I'll go down on you.
I think you'll have more of just a speaker that not really talk from the vocal cords of the vagina.
No, you're not listening.
It just talks out the asshole.
Well, and two, it'll be like kind of like a video game. You'll be like, guys, you can't believe what I got the fucking chatbot to say to me today.
Yeah. Well, it definitely predicts. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I know that people will use it for writing comedy, whatever else. We use it for like writing the our websites and stuff. It's so much easier to put content together.
Oh, right.
That's what April is. She's really really talented with that stuff. Even using it for like social tweets and shit like that.
Right.
That's cool.
Keep them putting it out without having to write so much. You put it in your voice, and it has it all there. But
right, you can just input. You can just feed it news stories, and it'll give you tweets about these news stories.
Yeah.
Like this is how you would tweet this, and you're
really
like, damn, this is better than what I spent 12 hours writing.
Yeah, exactly. So.
You spend 12 hours on a tweet, you got to.
You should use the bot. It's time.
I've spent a lot of time in bed this week, so I'm like, all right, I got this.
That's funny.
What do I feel about this news story?
So Wednesday I did the so Tuesday was Challenge Mike, and then I did the Creek, and then I did Anderson Mill. Did you do
I was
Cap
completely
City?
fucked this week. Yeah.
Were you on any list you were supposed to be doing, or
Is it all because you were bruised? And
I was like, I couldn't, especially the first 3 days. I couldn't like I had it at Kill Tony Monday, and I almost fucking kicked the shit out of 3 people, which I was like, I really gotta keep my anger in check because I can't fight right now at all. Not that I can ever.
What happened?
They would bump into me, and I'd be like, what the fuck? And there was that one guy, he got called up. I got so pissed because he took a stool into the pen. I was like, fucking stool boy is getting on the fucking stage. This guy's a fucking piece of shit.
Fuck. So he was already privileged.
Well, he put the stool right near the entrance, so every time people came, you're tripping on it because you're like, there's a fucking stool?
What an asshole.
Yeah. And then he gets called up, huh?
Luckily, he bombed. Fuck that guy.
Okay.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Was he wearing a cape?
No, it wasn't that guy.
Okay.
That guy was in the back over. But
I haven't seen him much.
He didn't have a suit.
He was there?
He was on the camera side. Is not the camera side anymore. They don't put the camera back anymore.
Oh, okay.
We're off camera now.
You mean the left side where the camera used to go back?
Yeah. I noticed that they even shine a light from the comics now, pointing that way, so it blacks out the comics.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing some screenshots of seeing Kyle Trek staring through people right at the camera. Kyle.
So they stopped that.
Well, I think it's weird for viewers being like, what are those people all squished in there? What psychopaths?
Let's target letters.
Yeah, do you think that the viewers wouldn't know that it's the comics who are waiting? Because they sometimes don't film someone coming out.
Right, but you know how dumb people are. They're
okay.
And they're focused on the guy walking out and whatever Tony's saying.
Yeah.
And,
I give people too much credit.
Right. It's not like...
Just assume they're dumb. That's what... Yeah.
Well, it's not like The Big Lebowski or something you watch 600 times and you're like, oh, I saw something new in it.
Right.
And
Yeah, this is just something you see once and what were all these people craning their necks for?
And how many people just listened to it and whatever, or doing something else as they're watching and listening.
Yeah.
So get called on to get on camera now.
Yeah.
Which Hank Garza got called up last week, which is
Hell
interesting because we talked about one of us getting called up. Well,
there we go.
So maybe you'll get it this week, man.
One day.
How did he do?
He did okay. He did better off Kill Tony with the same set. I noticed he didn't. He was a little bit more nervous. He came running from down upstairs. He was eating chicken wings. He wasn't as prepared.
Well, he's only been doing it 7 months, right?
He's been doing about as long as I have. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But you're pretty calm. You're not that.
Yeah,
he was a little bit more.
That's
jittery.
what I would say. We'll see what happens.
I was like, how can I word this that's not insulting to anyone?
Yeah.
You're not jittery on stage. Yeah. He was a little you said, he was eating or whatever.
Yeah, he got called from upstairs. He was in the green room back there doing his thing. But me and Brian ended up at the after party, and we ended up talking to Christy. And well, actually, we
Christy Nova, yeah.
Yeah, she was actually talking to somebody else. And
she's the door checker, right?
Yeah.
She's one of my oldest
She's like,
friends here. Yeah.
I really want Derek Dimpfl to get pulled. If I'm pulling for anybody to get pulled out of the bucket, it's Derek Dimpfl. His energy is so great. I would love to see his zaniness get up on stage. I would love to see him up there. And
When's the last time you signed up?
The last week that I was here, so like around Christmas time. Yeah.
Okay.
But they see him every fucking time. It's 52 something bucket entries and never got pulled up.
Well, and you too.
Which I think is more than anyone else in town at this point.
I think that's what they were saying. Yeah. But Leboza, you do it every week.
I'm at 6 months now, so however many Mondays that is.
Yeah, that's 25.
25, yeah. Look at that math.
That's autistic. That's autism if I've ever seen it. But, it's half of 52.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty smart. And plus, we did take those 2 weeks off in October for our Skank
when they were at
Fest.
Skankfest. Yeah. Which, I think, what's today's date? The 14th?
Yeah, something
I think, pro tip, 15th. I think the... sign-ups for next Skankfest is the 15th.
Okay. Today.
So you could, so you could send a tape.
Nice.
Also, other thing.
Because I go.
For any comics watching, I do think Joe's Club is having other open
casting
next week for like bartenders and servers, which they're not hiring comics, but if you go, they'll put you on the list for the Dorman showcase, because for Dorman they're hiring comics and they're going to do a showcase to be like, oh, he's good at comedy and can work the door.
So you have to audition for the door spot.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I mean,
that's smart.
Going to be one of the most coveted door spots.
Yeah.
So your bartenders aren't going to be comics, though.
You're going to be working during prime, mic time.
Right.
So bartenders will not be comics.
Bartenders and servers will not be comics.
So Amy O can get a bartender job.
Amy O. I'm not going to say anything about Amy O.
Poor Miss Amy O.
I'm just kidding. No, she actually took a comedy class this week, she told me. She signed up for a comedy class down in San Marcos or something. So that's interesting.
And it's that's one way to do it.
That's what I say.
Cap City's got one going now.
Comedy class.
Yeah.
It's funny. You don't seem to think highly. Who's teaching it? So some comic in town?
Yeah, it's already sold out. It's like $400.
Oh my god, that's such a ripoff.
Well, it's one of those things. I'm like, all right, if it's the
Taylor
booker,
Dowdy?
it might be. I could look it up. But it's.
I would believe that. Yeah.
Like, it's kind of a big name. Like, I recognize the name, but I was like, who gives a fuck? But it's not like the booker or someone that could actually be like, oh, this guy's funny. Like,
right. If the idea was that if you take the comedy class and then the person who's teaching it has the ability to put you on one of their shows by the time you're done with it.
Right.
Like, here, have your first experience with a good, real crowd.
There'll definitely be a showcase.
Yeah, there'll be a showcase.
Yeah, they always do a showcase.
Well, that's what they did in L.A. Like, the last class, you do a show at the Improv or the Comedy Store or whatever.
And then you have to bring your friends and family and fill up the
charge them $10 a part.
And then they all buy drinks and,
Yeah. So,
but it's one of those,
it's just
like,
an expensive thing to your extended social network.
You already paid for it,
I mean, it's smart for them. It's free money, but it's like also for like people like us are like, well, it's probably not great.
I think we put the money in at the Cap City and doing those. At Creek in the Cave and doing those mics, and it's a lot different for people who actually get on stage and figure out the timing, who do it. Whereas opposed to somebody who has not done that, who does not have that stage to do it on, who's afraid to get up on that stage, who would like to have that, that at least one show experience before they want to,
No, I feel, and it's a much more safe show because you got 10 people that you're more or less friends. You spent 6 weeks, 3 hours a week together.
Part of the curriculum for that class should be to go and sign up at an open mic.
Right,
at least once
but they wouldn't do that. It's like, what's it?
Pulls away from
there. Then
what's
people
the
realize, I don't need this.
Upright Citizens Brigade. Like, you have to go watch shows. So they're like, okay, I'll go watch Second Citizen.
Brigade?
Oh, Second City, yeah.
And they're like, no, you have to come watch our shows. So they're like, they get you for money, and then they get you to come to come watch the show.
They create their own audience.
And you have to stand outside. So
is that like a comedy class in Chicago? That
No.
Citizens
Upright was in L.A. It's the Amy Poehler and all them, their sketch show. So the Amy Poehler started it. They had a TV show on Comedy Central for like 2 years.
Okay.
And then like it was like when sketch and improv got really big, and all the SNL people were from sketch and improv. So she started hers, and they've been making money ever since.
Okay.
Groundlings was also out there. That's
it. Groundlings out there.
Yeah. And that's an improv group, Groundlings, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do sketch too.
Yeah. Sketch and improv.
Yeah. But it is one of those, like I did when I first started in LA, I did a comedy class and I was like, it's fine. I think the intro one is good because it like teaches you some stuff to like stay away from.
Get your feet wet.
Yeah, like, but it's also like having done this for so long, it's like, it's kind of up to us to take care of the newer comics. Like if you've been doing this 6 years and you know how shitty it is, and you know like simple mistakes people are doing.
Oh yeah, like
and you
like
could
lean in and say, hey, don't do this.
Right,
you should do that.
Yeah, you should be like.
Which
that's the problem.
The
like,
creek does really good for me.
Right,
Yeah.
and frankly, yeah, I'm really grateful to everyone who's given me advice that I have stuck with. There have been plenty of people who've given me stupid advice, but there's a lot that's
Well, even stupid advice, you can be like, I'll just do the opposite of that.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's like the problem is, and this you see in LA and not so much in New York. In New York, they'll help you more,
Right.
because there aren't those. There are, but they're not as relevant and prevalent. Whereas LA, because everyone moves to LA to pursue their dream,
There's a class
the
for
first thing they do is take these classes, and then everyone's like really pissy at
Because
like,
they're,
you go
in a
take the
clique.
class.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
they're in a clique from their graduating
Right.
class. They have their friends from their
But
graduating
it's also
class.
like, I had to pay $400. Why don't you go pay
Yeah,
for
exactly.
it? Like, I'm not
Yeah.
going to help you.
That's
Like,
so
so it
petty,
adds like a paywall
Yeah.
to doing comedy out there, which sucks.
Or acting.
Yeah.
If you don't do, if you're not from LA Film School,
Right.
then you're getting a big crutch because there's so many people there
Right.
that are LA Film School. They're looking for those.
And that was something
graduates.
like the 2-3 years I was in Florida. They're like, oh, you've been everywhere. You want to teach a class? I was like, let's not do that. Let's just be helpful. Let's like we had one kid who always took the mic out of the stand and then left the stand there.
Oh,
and it's
right.
like simple. Just, hey, move the stand. But it was fun. So he took the mic out, moved the stand behind him, and then he moved the stool behind the stand and sat
It's all off.
I was like, dude, you want to be in the spotlight in front of
Yeah.
Unless you're Casey Rocket running around the fucking stage, get in the spotlight, get the focus.
Right, you don't want people
It's
to
so
see
funny
you
to
unless
move
you're-
everything out of the spotlight and sit down.
I was like, all right, man, let me rephrase the help I gave you last time.
That's wild.
That's funny.
It's people. They don't. You get nervous and you think, you get
I can now
focused on the
understand
one
why
thing.
you said that about people being stupid.
Well, it's something too in comedy. You have to kind of remember, like, not to belittle the audience, but these are people going out. They're probably tired. They've had a long week. They've been drinking most likely. They're not at their sharpest. So sometimes you see problems where there's jokes where like all the comics are like, this joke's fucking hilarious, and it never fucking. It's like, yeah, you want to have an economy of words and shorten it down, but sometimes you need a few more words to be like, hey guys,
Right.
like, this is you're not thinking.
Yeah.
You're not thinking at the same pace we are. You're
But
not.
also the taste that like
Yeah.
comics have in jokes and that
Absolutely.
audiences have in jokes is very different.
Right.
Like for instance, at the roast battle on Friday night, Chandler. I hope to God that I remember his name right. Well, this guy, he got slaughtered by Brittany Ledesma. But then afterwards he was saying he's like yeah, I don't know what happened, I ran all my jokes past multiple of my comic friends,
Right.
and I was like thinking back in his jokes, it's like, yeah, I can see how these jokes are ones that like comics would laugh at because but you didn't realize that you're going to be telling these to real people. You just got like really horrific about just
Right.
Unnecessarily,
Or you could get like too personal, where it's like they don't know this person.
yeah, or understanding what the dynamic between roasting a man and roasting a woman is that under most circumstances you can't really talk about like her body or physicality or looks, things like that.
Yeah.
Do you want to do roast battle? Is that something you're interested in, or because I
I
know
don't know.
you've done it? I saw you do it.
Yeah.
I
Very good, by the way.
And I do put an asterisk on the last thing that I said, that the biggest pop I got was,
I was
saying
like-
that Audrey had
I
a
was
cold
thinking
pussy.
about that.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, bro.
But I've watched back at the tape, and I think the reason why it went over well is that the crowd didn't like her very much, and then she was also being rude.
Well,
to
she's
me
aggressive.
and trying to like step on my laughs and stuff. And so then when she just said this dumb "you're ugly" comment, and I came back with something that
No, her style's aggressive, so it's like you get a little more
right.
compared to if you're just attacking like a timid girl, that's
Right.
or just like
Yeah,
a
but also-
Sam Morril of females
but
where they
also,
just
like,
tell jokes.
I don't think she has to I don't think that she had to be aggressive and unlikable at that show,
Yeah.
or really any other. Because you can have like a big energy and and you can even like be blunt, but you can be more likable. She just made herself really unlikable during that show.
Yeah, I feel you.
yeah, It happened. I'm kind of interested in it. I'm not a mean person per se, but like when I do, it's like it's like really mean. You know,
right.
It just looks like I'm an asshole. You know, like I don't come off like funny or joking. Yeah. I just come off like really serious.
Yeah, I've never been a roaster. I've always been like, this is I'll usually go too personal.
Yeah,
like I actually know what affects him and like gets him upset.
No.
So I'll be like, hey, remember that time your sister? Like, what the fuck, bro?
You guys have room to grow.
I think we're just too deep.
Don't take it so serious.
I know. It's surprise.
I'll burn down your fucking house. I'll make sure your family's asleep inside of it.
ChadO's gonna be fucking with their head for a whole week. He's gonna be like, "Oh, did you have tire problems this week? Oh, guess who that was?"
Well, I'll tell you
Make
guys.
sure not to drink any coffee.
I'll tell you guys that like like roasting, I don't think I came to it so naturally. But I went to Banana Phone every week in order to like learn how to.
Yeah.
And so like you can still learn how to do.
No, it's definitely a skill. Yeah, it's one of those. But like there's comics that do crowd work. There's comics that don't. There's comics that roast. So,
Right.
Well, like there's a
crowd
spoken pun.
That's
I like to write poetry, and that spoken pun seems hard.
Spoken word pun.
Yeah. That spoken pun, Mike. Have you guys seen that? What I'm talking about?
No, is it here in Austin?
Yeah, I thought it was on your list, but I think it's called spoken pun. But it's a spoken word, but it's funny with jokes.
Okay.
Are you talking about spoken and heard?
No, maybe, but is that the same thing? Or?
Is it all
it's at
poetry or
Kick Butt
puns?
Coffee on Sundays. Spoken and heard that I'm talking about.
No, but this was spoken pun is what I think it was. What it
really?
was. Yeah.
I don't ever remember hearing about that. I hope I get wind of it so I can add it to my list.
But maybe I might be
you and your list.
Hey, yeah, right.
I thought it was on the list.
Keeps you on
counting
task.
everything.
I don't remember the exact location, but I thought it was a spoken word, but they had to be funny with jokes in it. Yeah,
that sounds really interesting. I would like to go to that.
Yeah.
But,
So it's poetry with jokes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but speaking of the list, I still have maintained it. I do need to do a little sweep through and clean it out and update it right now. But I don't know how much. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be keeping track of it, because mostly I was keeping track of it because I was going to like open mics 6 nights a week.
Now you're stepping up.
Well, it's possible. Well, I just want to put the word out there. You know, maybe never
be a road comic now.
No, I'll curate that list till the day I die.
Giving up on all of us open micers, like fucking figure it out.
Never mind.
I figured it out.
I spoke too soon. Yeah. Haven't I helped the people enough? Yeah. That link has more than 3,000 clicks on it on my link tree. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just a list of the open mics?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a spreadsheet. Yeah.
I've clicked at least 200 times. So,
okay. Heck yeah. All right, so you and
'cause you get too high and you're like,
oh,
fuck, what was it again?
Yeah, no,
you and 15 other people.
But now it's on my Google Drive. I didn't even know it was on there. But
Right.
Yeah, so I can just open up my Google Drive.
Yeah, it's so weird how much it's like my phone just downloads stuff without me knowing. And it's like, yeah, now you have this.
Like,
okay,
you're always there.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a good benefit. You just update it and it updates me.
Yeah. Well, that's what I tell people is like, oh, you can bookmark it or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
So you run 4 mics right now?
I
3?
was
Okay.
right now.
So got
There's
Lazy Days.
one weekly mic, the Lazy Days one, and then one every other week mic. But I do the piano accompaniment at Madrone.
And then you still have Irene's, which is a show you book.
That's a real show. Yeah. Sorry.
Big time. Yeah. No,
all shows are real shows.
No.
Don't forget that.
There are mics, though.
Yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, and a little tip to open micers: if you treat the open mics you go to as if they were a show, then you're not only going to get more out of it, but then you're going to progress faster, and then also people are going to know that you behave professionally, and you're more likely to get booked.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So also bring your own cup to Lazy Days. They don't want to.
Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago at Lazy Days. Like the guy who's sort of like the owner manager who sometimes has to come in and clearly doesn't enjoy the fact that he's there. Like one time he pulled me aside. He's like, what was it? He was like, oh, could you tell people to bring their own water next time? Yeah. And I was like, why? What? Is it because people are are drinking it so fast that you have to fill it up all the time. He's like, no, it's just like the cups costing me money. You know? And I'm like,
I was standing right there. I was like, what the fuck
Which
is
is
that?
like, and I understand, I have respect for the costs of running a business, but this is what?
Right.
The cups are costing me too much.
I was like, I'm going to go to the gas station across the street, just buy
he's being
100 for
he's
$5.
being penny wise and pound foolish. But then also, if like none of the comics were buying anything that night,
that's also annoying.
And they possibly weren't buying anything because he doesn't have too charming a personality. But but like when the other people are there,
lose another mic.
Sorry, shit. He's not going to listen. But no, and I didn't lose. Yeah, I don't think I lost the other mics because of stuff that I've said in an unguarded moment.
It's stuff that other comics have said during the mic. I think is what it was.
Well, sometimes. Oh yeah. I mean, well, I hope that's not what the hotel one was. But the manager Destiny, she just said that they weren't doing any more weekly events. They're just doing one-off events during.
Which was that the one?
East Austin.
Yeah, the East Austin hotel.
Upstairs.
Yeah, the upstairs one.
Did I ever tell you about the first one they had?
Oh no, yeah.
So like Jack knew the girl somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And
Jack Stoltman?
Stoltman, yeah.
Like knew the bartender or the manager?
Manager.
Okay, so Destiny.
The I believe
sort
Destiny.
Of like shortish red hair. Yeah.
I talked to her for like 5 seconds.
Okay.
But so for those who haven't been there, the mics was upstairs. I don't know if they kept that. So it was upstairs. There's a bar in an enclosed like glass case. So it was like her first time running the mic. Jack was like, "Oh, I'll bring comics so it's not a flop." So we go, and she's like, "All right, we're gonna start the mic in like 5 minutes. Do you guys want a drink? I'll grab you a drink for free on me. We're just happy to have you." And I was like, "Yeah, I guess. Like whatever you want to grab, we're fine."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Okay, cool. We'll start in 5 minutes." In there right now, they're having a funeral after. And I was like, "What?" And it's like, "Yeah, they just." And it wasn't like. You're like, okay, maybe it was like grandpa died at like 96. It was like a 30-year-old kid.
Oh, shit.
Died in a car accident, died. All the 30-year-old friends hammered.
Was totally bummed out.
The set, the pictures of him everywhere. And I was like,
now laughter.
And then they're like, she was like, they could really use a laugh.
Oh my God.
Oh, no.
I was like, I don't think they can. And like, immediately,
Give
all
them
three
time.
of us were like, how do we leave without being an ass? I was like, there's no.
Wait a minute.
She came back with the drinks. We were fucking gone. We were like, no.
Yikes. Well, shit.
Well, and like we were sitting out there, and like I said, it's glass. So we were just sitting there, like basically watching
the funeral,
the sad people
was,
crying
like, sharing,
and shit. And like a girl came out hammered and was like, "What are you guys doing? You didn't know him." And we're like,
"You didn't know him?
We're leaving. That is what we're doing."
We were here for jokes, but not anymore.
Yeah, I was like, "We are going to Lucky Duck and hopefully never remembering this night."
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, that's a good Wednesday night. Is Lucky Duck. That's fun. Have you done the tag writing?
I haven't done the tag one there yet. I want to, but you have to sign up like at like 5, right, or something.
Well, no. So it starts at 6, but it's advanced. You can sign up right now for it.
Oh, okay.
And you'll get on it. Yeah, it's a form you fill out from his Instagram or whatever. But it's he'll give you a subject. Most people do not write on the subject. The first one,
so he'll give everyone a topic and
yeah,
write on that topic.
Alden does?
Yeah. So like,
does he give any wild subjects? I could see him being like sour milk.
Well, yeah, it was frisbees the first one I did, and then I wrote 3 jokes on frisbees.
Backyard fun.
Yeah. And then 3 jokes on January was last week, and then this week is three jokes on sports fans. Mm-hmm. But I've been writing these jokes and I actually incorporated a few of them into my bits. And same with like the challenge mic. You know, nice. I've discovered jokes. Pulling topics. You know,
honestly.
See, I like challenge mic a lot. I don't want this taken the wrong way. For me, one of the problems is like part of what the audience likes there is the like, oh, you have to write this right on the spot. So like. I've gotten a few where I've gotten extra bumps at challenge mic, and I'm like, oh, maybe I could use this. And I'm like, But at the same time, I have gotten ones that I can't
because
use.
It's improv, it's more impressive when you come up with something. So you do have to, weigh
You have to write something after that. You can't just use that same bit. You have to turn it into something.
Yeah.
But what's funny there is a good start to a bit, though.
Right.
Yeah. I think so.
No, I like it also because it's a Packers bar, even though you fucking aren't playing anymore.
Y'all packing your heads into the sand.
Yeah, see, challenge mic right there. He's ready.
Now do just 5 minutes on the Packers.
I do like the challenge mic. I don't get up there anymore because of the lazy days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, Tuesday has to be a rough, because Cap City's got a good one. I don't know what the mood is with Cap City anymore. I feel like
I heard people getting there at 5 and not getting on.
Oh, yikes.
Well, one of the problems, so they let the first 5 on, and then they charge you $5.
Yeah. What? They
like,
charge all the comics $5
to get on standby.
Oh, yeah.
So like the first 5 are free, and they're like, we guarantee you on. There already is one name on there, so it's really only 4, and then it's like me, Ray, and Ryer were all showing up like way too early. But I was like, who cares? It's like a good mic.
They're
with the
doing
audience.
it like they used to do with the Velveeta room, like where you had to show up way early. And I would do it every week because it was a high quality mic. But
she still think it is.
I don't know because I've been banned for a while.
Oh shit!
What did you do?
I didn't do anything wrong.
Of course not. You got banned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can finish the sentence. On one of the mics, I was first on the list, and Leah, she was hosting, Leah Mulroney, and so I went and I sat pretty close to the front. There weren't too many people in there, and I was just setting up my camera, getting ready for myself, and then I turned off my phone, set my camera to the side, wait for her to introduce me. Then I turn my phone back, turn my camera on, go up on stage, do my set, goes well. Then I get off, and then I got a message a few days later from Taylor Dowdy, and I believe that Taylor and Leah are dating and have been for some time. He said I heard from the host last week that you were filming other people's sets. That's not acceptable here, and you're banned. Please don't come back. And
no explanation.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I had a girl yell at me recently. I was I reached out. I was like, yo, I got your set if you want it. Because it was like, I hit record because I was after you.
Right.
She's like, don't film me. I was like, I'm not posting it. I'm not
Well, but at the same time,
I understand.
I would say only with people that you know. The rule that I have is only with people that I know, and only the people I know would want it.
Right. Yeah. No, but I clearly wasn't a bad guy. I was like,
of course.
Before I delete it, do you want the video or
this was a
Well, I'm walking with a whole sound crew and video, equipment and everything, And the Creek guy, I was always coming by and saying, "Hey, you're not filming other people's sets, right?" Mm-hmm. I'm like, "I'm not. I was make sure I get my stuff right."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jose reached out. Hey man, my audio's quality. Do you have my audio by chance? I'm like, no, I don't. I'm not recording.
But also, that sucks about the Velvet. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
that sucks.
It's crazy.
Okay, but it was clearly a case of those two people didn't like me and they were looking for an excuse to can me, and so I was like, well, Thursday turned into a better night after that. But I do appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, I did Velveeta once, and I cursed out the host.
Yeah,
and I didn't get mad.
Wait, you cursed him out while you were on stage?
While I was on stage.
Okay, yeah. Or just did for fun, in
No,
fun,
it was not for fun.
Because he was being which host was it? Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
Black guy.
Okay, gotcha.
If that helps out.
Tyler Gross, dreadlocks.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
It was him.
And so you cursed him out. Why? What did you do?
Yeah. Usually, I'm not a huge fan of God mic open mics. I kind of because when I host open mic, I like to pop up and try and settle.
Yeah.
And I get it at Creek in the Cave. There's 3 people there. Mm-hmm. You want to sit in the back and God mic, that's fine. It's 2 a.m. Mm-hmm. You're fucking tired. You have to get up at 6.
Yeah.
I get it. But we had a somewhat audience, and the audience kind of sucked. They were all drunk and heckling. There was a British bitch who was hammered, crying and yelling the whole time.
Yikes.
Then there were some kids drunk yelling, and it was I was the second to last comic, and so he wasn't taking any of the heat or calming anyone down, which already I'm you suck. Mm-hmm. Then some people left, so I could start. You would hear he had the God mic on during people's sets. Mm-hmm. And he was talking to someone.
Oh my god!
And I was homie,
God.
What are you doing? Stop!
Yeah.
And so then I told him to stop, and he didn't. Mm-hmm. And then he bumped us for some girl that he was trying to fuck. That
probably
seemed like she never did comedy. And then I got up, and he was still talking on the God mic. Mm-hmm. And I was just yo, motherfucker, you want to shut the fuck up and take this somewhat seriously so we can try and have a good time, or you're just not gonna do your job at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was just turn it off in between. It's one button, bro.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. For real.
That sucks.
Well, which again, yes, I was being a dick, but I was saying earlier, it's up to the older, not older as age, but have been doing it for a while to be you guys have to take it seriously so the young guys can enjoy and learn and grow and all that. So like,
yeah,
you know, Kellen was there, who's been there 3 months.
Making good, that you kind of like. You almost like sort of make a walled enclosure for other people.
Yeah,
to,
you got to make it safe.
Play around safely in.
Yeah, if it's not a safe space for young guys, it's people like my fault.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's how I like. It's like, why am I letting this culture be this way?
You know, that's an insightful idea.
Well, and that's why like your open mics are so good and like shit like that. Like you need people who know how to take things seriously.
Yeah.
And like when you have someone who's like, oh, I'm above it now, it's like, okay,
are you? They just phone it in. Yeah, that actually puts them below all of it.
Yeah.
Beer me?
Yeah. So also, I brought up your open mics. What do you think the effect of the mothership will have on the open mic scene?
You're referring to Rogan's Club?
Yep.
I don't know. Particularly because I don't know when his open mics are going to be. I think that, Tim was talking about this on the last episode.
He was talking about having like comedy like classes and stuff there, but
I guess he may have mentioned that during the part that I listened to, but what I was thinking of more so is that when you have like established clubs where things are run really well, that's going to be places where more established comics are going to be spending their time, getting time, and that might have an impact on someone's ability to book a show like this Irene show or something like that. Because like for instance, I was just in San Diego a few days ago, and the club scene there is extremely established, extremely well developed. It's been around for decades and decades, and there's 6 clubs in the city. So that means that there are opportunities for open micers to go up at a real club where they really know how to do things, where the audience is educated and there specifically for comedy, and the room is packed and it's easy. It's like lighting a match next to a powder keg doing comedy in there. It's so good. But then the idea is that there would be fewer bar shows and things like that because there are clubs where those shows can be booked at, and the clubs will be booking comics themselves. So I think that's more of an impact it's going to have. I mean, I think like with open mics, I don't think it would really reduce the number of open mics available. It would just, it might make certain open mics at the same time less popular because people want to go to the Rogan open mics. But I think it's gonna just be good for the open mic scene.
Well, I do think like if it's late, that would help Creek in the Cave because we have such a fucking overflow there. At the end of the 10 o'clock mic, it's like 30, 40 people.
People.
And so you're like, and the host has to stay there so late.
Those are ones where
so if you could split it,
the only thing to do is like just to get on the list. If you're hanging out anyways, you're getting kind of drunk and you're just gonna get on stage and have a good time and be goofy.
Right.
That's not a. Unless there's actually a crowd, which there rarely is. Especially when it's late. Yeah.
So what I heard was from Hank. He's been helping build Rogan's Club and everything. He was saying that there's probably not going to be that many open mics available there right away because it's going to be like Roseanne Barr, Bill Burr. All these guys are
going to be bringing in all the headliners.
All those killers could be there.
As it should be. Great, good, yeah.
So,
but it's also going to be 2 rooms, right?
I didn't get to ask him that. I was going to ask him that because he's been building it. He should know how many rooms there are. But it seems like the way he was talking, it was like this is just going to be filled with those type of guys. Yeah.
Because that was always the rumor was it was going to be like a 2-room club.
Yeah, it might be a nice green room up there. It might be the thing.
Yeah, they might have just built out and been like, fuck it, we're going to ball out.
But when I was standing in line last week at Kill Tony, somebody, this is just like line rumor, line hearsay, somebody dropped off Red Band at a club down the street from Kill Tony. And they were talking about there's being a purchase made upstairs about one of the top 5 comics is buying a club up there, and he was alluding to like a comedy club, but there wouldn't be a comedy club next to Rogan's. It's over by the Ritz. What I'm thinking of, there might be the after party hangout spot.
Okay.
And I think Hinchcliffe might be buying
that
a little spot to hang out with afterwards.
But honestly, frankly, this is banging around in my head for a couple of weeks now, is I think somebody was telling me about another another oh yeah, Sunset Strip.
Yeah.
It could be the Sunset Strip, because the Sunset Strip, they're going to be opening a room on 6th Street too.
So that's going to be right next to them?
Yeah, it's going to be it has to be close by because it's 6th Street. So it's going to be this wild, this 1, 2, 3, 4, the Creek and the Cave, the Vulcan, the Sunset Strip,
who's going to own
Rogan's
that?
Club.
Just
the people who owned the old one. I mean, like, of course, Adam died recently. Right. Rest in peace. But it's just those people. I don't know.
Okay,
the names,
so that's kind of what we talked about with.
But the Sunset Strip people. Yeah.
With Sam, we talked about that with Sam.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
That is gonna be like. I feel like he wanted to do 2 because he wanted to develop younger 2 rooms.
I would think he would.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
But it'd be great if there's an open mic available. But I heard,
but also
that
maybe
might be
Hank
the first year
too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll know in 20 days, something like that.
Yeah,
right.
Like
so
that.
it's going to be in February
30
that
days,
they open.
yeah.
Well, he said if you looked at it right now yourself, you would think it's almost ready. But
right.
as somebody who's working on it, it's not.
Yeah,
even close.
maybe they need to do wiring and shit like
so
that.
It's still got a little ways out of yourself.
Yeah. I heard different stuff from people who interviewed and who knows what. I heard the date February 22nd thrown around for like they're gonna start training all the servers and bartenders, shit like that.
So maybe
which would
March
be tight.
But this is exciting, honestly, because it's been like 2 years or so that this is that people have been excited about this and talking about this, and then it was always like 3 months later, 6 months later, 3 months
I wonder
later.
how many comics have come and gone because
we've seen it. Like Kyle Chuck even,
when I was first here, like there were people who were showing up like just because Rogan's Club. There was this one really creepy dude who went up on Kill Tony, and he's like, yeah, Tony, do you think you can get me a job bartending at Rogan's new club?
That was Phil. That guy, he's actually got me tickets a few times to sit.
Phil?
Yeah.
No, it was a different guy. I was thinking, but there have been a number of people.
Oh, because Phil asked for a job there too.
Phil, oh no, I'm not talking about the Kill Tony 500 appearance. Philip Garcia.
No.
Phil who?
I can't remember. He's watching it right now.
Okay, hi Phil.
It's like me, motherfucker, me.
Yeah.
I can't remember his last name.
Please don't come to Chad's house with a gun.
Because I tried getting him to do stand up at the Creek in the Cave once because I was like, you've been on Kill Tony, you want to get out Road's Club, come do stand up. Mm-hmm. So he filmed me doing it, and he was up next, and he's like, no, I can't do this. He walked out. He's like, it's just. It's something about that open mic that it's hard to do, but
it's not a great comedy
specifically
room.
The ones that,
it's just getting up there and doing it.
Yeah,
it's high ceilings, it's wide.
Yeah, that's right.
Doing a Kill Tony show is different.
You can't see anyone; it's just totally empty.
Well,
people are invisible.
it's a real comedy show. You have to have 3-4 minutes of comedy. Kill Tony, you have a minute, you talk for a minute, anybody can, and then you have that interview. Mm-hmm. And then anybody can do this part right here. Right. That's where they hope to shine.
Right. Well, you say that, and then Callan went up there and talked about how he used to say the N-word on stage.
Oh, no, Callan.
It was for like a play. Yeah, he was like, I was in this play, and I was like, just...
why are we talking about this?
This was a story you could have left.
How did this come up?
He must have been just feeling like he must have been just, I don't know, feeling insecure about it. So like when you're feeling insecure about something, I gotta say this.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny to me how many people and again, it was probably a good interview because he did stand out. And it was, he was like, it was for a play. It wasn't like I was just screaming it like a crazy person.
Yeah.
But you don't know a fact about me.
But it's funny how many people, because one of the guys I work with goes to every Kill Tony.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's weird how many people aren't prepared for the interview. And I was like, I say that all the time. It's the same 3-4 questions. Yeah. How are you not ready? Yeah. But, tell me something interesting about you. And then they're like, just have something ready. It's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and Callan is already kind of an edgelord, so maybe.
How many times did he sign up before he got on?
Oh, no! I think it
first or
probably a month or so.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
Great. That's so Jack and your roommates with both those guys.
No. Callan lives in the building with me. Jack lives 2 miles away. Something.
Okay,
like that.
So you guys are just close.
Yeah. We just Well, and it's funny because we had on the rooftop of our building we had a pool party during the summer before Kill Tony, and for maybe 6 shows in a row, the guy who just showed up to the pool party for the first time got pulled.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's
so
cool.
I was like, "Oh, look, we're the lucky
it's charm."
Yeah.
Shit, that didn't happen. Fuck.
Yeah, you got fucked there.
Yeah, who else?
I think Connor got pulled your first time coming.
Connor, which Connor?
Something fucking super Italian. He's from LA.
Something super Italian.
Yeah.
Connor,
Constantino, something like that.
Corsentino.
Connor.
Connor.
Yeah, because it was like, that was like the fourth time it happened, and we were kind of talking. We're like, "Oh, Derek and Connor showed up today. Which one?"
God damn it!
It was Connor.
Wow.
That's all right.
And I think it was the second time getting pulled.
But then also,
we need more
I
pool
think
parties.
I actually wasn't going to Kiltonia that time because I was hosting mics and then just going around.
You were doing the minute to win it.
Yeah,
Mike.
So it's my mistake.
Okay.
I could have signed up. I would have knocked him out, or maybe both of us.
Fucking cheap asses don't heat the pool right now, so I'm like, we'll wait until it's hot again.
But or you could just do a polar plunge.
Yeah,
because everyone's
hey,
playing
Joe,
pool
we're doing
like
the polar
Rogan.
plunges.
Yeah, now we're doing the cryotherapy shit.
I'll buy a bunch of bags of ice and throw them in.
And the bull, there you go.
Like, look at us. We're real comics.
Hey, our nipples can
Real
cut
cold
glass
comics.
right now. Yeah.
No, that's something too. Let's just go under the
hood.
suspicion that there is going to be 2 rooms. I wonder too how they're going to fill. Like, it's a good idea to start coming up with ideas for shows. Because he's going to need all right, this guy's headlining downstairs. Go sell something upstairs.
Do you think that? Do you think that he's going to do it like a show every 2 hours, sort of Creek in the Cave style, more like Comedy Store style, where just like it's a constantly rotating series of comics, and there's just a cover at the door?
So, if in a perfect world, how I would have it is basically because like comedy's gone so big, it's hard to have like the headliner.
Yeah.
Like Tom Segura is
just
not
have the
going to
list.
headline Joe's club because he could sell 1,000
stadium.
more tickets at the theater down the street.
Right.
But you come and do 20 minutes.
Yeah, so like it'll be I'm hoping what they do is like the headliner guys that he would bring in, where the Comedy Store has the main room.
Yeah.
They're going to go to the Vulcan. So they're going to go do the Vulcan. Then they'll come in where all the past guys will be like, the list of 20 that are going on throughout the night and doing 10, 15 minutes each.
Yeah.
Then that guy will come over and do whatever, 15, 20, whatever he wants. He's a headliner. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. And then upstairs they'll have like 3 or 4 shows going, kind of like Creek in the Cave Sunday, where it's like dating show, then this show, then Banana Phone, then open mic, and it's whatever.
But there's just this main room where it's going through.
Yeah, it'll just be like the...
Yeah, and then you have shows...
so all the comics who are past...
That makes sense. Yeah.
Will call in and be like, my availabilities are, I got 3 days, I can do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, then they'll call back, all right, you got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you're on at 7:20, 8, and 9:30. Oh, all right, I'm in. All right, see you there.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping...
That would be so cool
Right.
to have regular club spots.
Well, I'm hoping, too, that's like... Because it develops the people that are here. That's the big problem right now, is there's not a lot of development for people that are here working.
Right.
Right.
So if he does an open mic to get the newer guys some time, and then he has past guys like the Comedy Store that have shows every week and get paid a little something, and like I said, the door guys are going to be comics, so they'll go do 10 minutes. So that would be nice, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So a door guy show makes sense. So that's why they're going to do...
Like basically how East Austin runs is perfect. It's just a 40-seat room, so it's not amazing.
I want to audition for the door guy thing just to bump out some of the door guys.
Yeah. Well, and too, like, I wonder, like, it's going to be so weird because what's going to happen to the door guys at Vulcan?
Yeah.
Are they going to, or is
Probably
Joe,
want to jump ship.
Or
right,
it might
but
be-
are they going to have them on a list, be like, yo, we're not poaching
Or it might-
Vulcan's door guys, so.
It might be that Big Laugh comedy, though. It might be the same.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
same management.
Yeah.
So they might just bounce them back.
Yeah. Like a staffing company.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, and then they're doing a showcase to see that the door guys are funny.
Yeah, so they might lose their spot.
Are they going to, some of these guys be like,
yeah.
he's not really that great.
Yeah. Stay at the Vulcan.
Yeah, or even like, so let's say they get a pen of 20 door guys to do the Vulcan and Joe's.
Yeah.
Or they get, all right, we're starting fresh, guys.
Oh,
If you don't bring it to the showcase, you didn't bring it. Sorry.
That'd be interesting. You gotta keep writing. That's the same jokes you told last time we
Right.
auditioned, Yeah.
Well, and it's also,
You can lose your job.
you're going to have people that get oh, you were here for the door guy. Do you just want to be a comic? You don't have to do the door guy work. You were funny enough. You're a past guy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That'd be
you're
awesome.
a regular or paid regular or whatever.
I definitely want to see some people get passed. Start getting your picture on or at least your name on the wall.
Yeah.
How they used to.
That'd be
At
so
the store.
dope.
Well, it's
I
going to be
bet they'll
interesting,
do the
too.
same.
It's like, how is that going to affect... Like, the stuff I try tell people who haven't been in other scenes is like, you guys don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
Because like there's going to be managers are going to start coming out. Agents are going to start coming out. Yeah. They're going to start sitting in the audience. Yeah. Oh, all right.
That's a
this
really
agent's
cool
here Tuesday.
Yeah.
I want everyone's going to want the Tuesday show. What are they going to do to get the Tuesday show?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and then and you're going to have
this is going to make
Creek
things
in the
way
Cave.
more complicated.
Yeah. You got the East Austin clique or the Creek in the Cave clique, and 3 of the guys get passed and 6 of them don't. Yeah. How does that affect their friend group? You're going to have a lot of stuff that I don't think people are ready for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That are going to affect, and it's going to be interesting to see how that all turns out.
It's a good thing to keep an eye out for, man.
Yeah, definitely be a little more wary of what you're saying around people and have your back a little more.
Who you're friends with. Be friends with funny motherfuckers.
Yeah. That's always good advice.
Yeah.
Well, no matter what happens, I'm going to keep doing this show at Irene's. That's going to give stage time to local people.
Yeah, that's good.
Who's on this week there, Derek?
Yeah, this week we have Megan Tucci, who has the Good Egg, Bad Egg open mic over at the Fallout Theater. She's been doing that for years. Candace Medina, who everyone knows is the host of tonight's Banana Phone. Ariel Isaac Norman has an ad-libbing show. Actually, she has a heckling show over at Fallout Theater too, but she's all everyone knows her. Matt Kobos, he's in from Denver with his buddy Patrick Richardson. They're both super funny, and then we have Bianca Parado of Late Night Laughs and Christina Mariani, who does the squirrel bit.
Very cool.
Got all their credits and everything in there.
Nice. You got a lot of female comics tonight.
Yeah, actually, I was surprised. It's a mostly female lineup this time. Yeah, but I need to get some ladies on the lineup for the 29th because I realized it was all dudes, and then somebody dropped out, so I need to put some ladies on that lineup.
Yeah.
Zach identifies as a woman now.
Yeah, I'm a chick.
Okay, just so long as you shave and put on your drag.
Whatever it takes to please you, Derek.
I never want to hear those words again.
Yeah, you do.
No, I'm scared. Well, it all depends on the tone of voice.
Right.
The person.
I could do a high pitch. I don't know. I feel like I'd do like a racist act. I'd be like, for some reason, Korean or something. I'd be
whatever it takes to please you.
Why am I doing this?
I do it for $10.
You don't see like a guy be like, "No, I'm an Asian chick." What?
I identify as Asian and as a female.
Yeah, I do apologize for doing that Asian lady voice.
That's how you identify.
Sorry, my Instagram was already deleted once. I can do it again.
I also hate when they're like, "Oh, my name's Bobby and now I'm Betty." It's like you could choose any name. Why are you?
You could be Chrysanthemum.
Yeah, you could throw some clicks in there like an African. Whatever. Go nuts.
See, I'm the opposite. I expect their name to be similar to the original. I like the I like when like Steven because Stephanie. That makes sense, you know.
Well, when my
but
oldest,
it's lazy. You're creating a whole new person. You've been a guy 30 years, and now you're creating a wardrobe.
I think for some people it's important. I think for some people it'd be important for it to be similar, and some people it'd be important for it to be different.
Maybe keeping the
I think
initials.
It depends on like how much continuity you want there to be between your previous self and your later self.
How much you have to change your Facebook.
Yeah, and a lot of people. Yeah, but then also like some people who transition want to be like really connected to their past, but then some people who transition and how they talk about dead naming and things like that, like in some way it's almost as if they want everything about the past where they were known as as this thing that they felt like they never were, completely erased. Like for instance, my oldest sister, when she transitioned, she was Christian, and then she turned into Emily. And I think, one of the things that that my mom's side of the family kind of had a hard time with, and what they were what they were having a hard time with was that she was saying like, well, couldn't she at least be like Christina or Chris? Right. Like, couldn't we call her Chris? Like because they were worried about like their children, like the little cousins not understanding. But as it turns out, like little cousins are way more understanding than anyone.
Well,
it's all for the old people,
Well, kids too. Their brains are so
right. It's plastic. It's like, oh, I can integrate this new idea. It's not so strange to me. And then my my middle sister, she was Dustin, and then she became Charlotte. But it's not totally different because his middle name was Charles.
Okay.
So,
Oh yeah. So
I do think there's something in keeping the initials.
Right. No, I'm only assuming that's why she became Charlotte. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I know strippers do it a lot more.
Strippers.
See, they get creative.
Well, like Destiny, I mean, they keep their initials more or less. Sometimes
Okay.
they keep the same name,
Right.
the same clothes.
Yeah, they used to be.
Cindy is Sin, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But every once in a while, you'll get like I'm Black Diamond on stage. It's like, yo.
Yeah.
Like go with a superhero. I'm Batman now. What? Oh, fuck
Right.
Like, why would you? If
You
I'm
get to
doing this,
invent this whole thing,
yeah.
especially because you dress however you want. Yeah.
Well, and also like if I went into
You
witness
should identify as
protection,
Batman.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be.
And they're like, yo, we're gonna give you any job you want, a name you want, we're Arizona.
Who knew
and I'll
that
be like,
trans
yo.
people had so much in common with strippers in the WWE?
There we go. That's another one. I'm Diamond Dallas Page, yo. Like, all right.
DB, double.
Double penetration page. That's the stripper that dates that wrestler. That was dumb.
We do have a lot of stripper comedians starting all of a sudden.
I think it's an OnlyFans encouragement.
How many are you thinking? Which ones?
I've seen
are you
like
thinking?
4.
Okay, because there's Jubilee, but then who else? Yeah.
Well, even like Joyce, what's her?
Joy Milan?
Yeah.
No,
not her.
Yeah, because she's
no
not
Joyce.
Joyce Taus?
Yeah.
Does she have like some?
She's at the Red Rose now.
Oh, she's stripping at the Red Rose? No kidding. Oh my God, I had no idea.
Full on. So.
I feel like too, like
what full on? What? Why are you saying? And you're like looking at like with this creepy leer. Full on.
like why? I'm just thinking,
How'd you find out that she's stripping at the Red Rose? Did she say it at the?
It's in her stories.
In her stories. I haven't watched it for a little
make
while.
it rain on me.
Okay.
I'm just like, So I'm like, I'm just. It's surprised that female comics, will go the OnlyFans, go stripping. Yeah. What do we have to do? We get to fucking drive Uber Eats.
Hey, we're doing this podcast. We're doing ad reads for joints. Right?
Yeah, that's what he gets.
He gets a whole joint for it.
These
I
girls
just
walk
get
with
sent
hundreds
free
of dollars.
joints, that's all, yeah.
He gets a fucking joint made of CBD. Not even a real joint. It's like a fucking.
It's nicely rolled too. Lucy J CBD, everybody.
Send me more, please.
Well, they will if I email them. Yeah.
Let me email my dealer.
Yeah,
that's all.
But I think for them, it's like when they send it out, it's like a tax write-off, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, it's
right.
some sort of marketing.
Right.
You get all these incentives.
In-kind sponsorship.
Yeah,
exactly.
I have some volcano toppers from our last podcast that were sponsored that I never really got to use them, but they're different attachments for the volcano.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Are we sponsored by them?
Yeah, kind of.
Hell yeah.
So we should probably start smoking the volcano again.
Probably.
Okay, yeah. and show those off. Like, look.
I wanted to ask, do you ever do like, so this is probably just like some weird thing I do, but like when I watch I watch them on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And like one of my favorite things is they like cut to the ad reads. Oh, yeah. Right? So and you're like, oh, okay, the bar came on the bottom. I know it's an ad read.
And I
skip it.
Yeah.
And it's like when I start the podcast, I'm like, oh, all right, it's 2 hours long. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, I only spent an hour and 15 minutes. Right. And it's like,
wow, 45 minutes worth of ad reads? That's a lot.
Like whatever.
Oh, yeah, we could do SNL style fake ads. Yeah.
But it's like the same thing happens. Like I think HBO does this a lot where they have super long credits. So you're like, oh, there's 20 minutes left of my show, and then there's only 5 minutes left. I'm like, oh, fuck it. It's like a little like present to my. I'm like,
exactly. I saved some time.
Whereas Netflix is like, nope, you don't get to watch it. You don't get to see the end sometimes. So like, there's a credit scene.
I want to see someone's name. It's like, oh, who was it? Who played? And IMDb it. Right. Like there's 200 episodes. You know how I'm gonna.
You don't get to watch this shit. Yeah, that's too much time.
Yeah, I can't figure this out. Jesus Christ.
Well, cool guys. Well, this has been a good comedy review. You guys feel good about this? Need to throw anything in besides
absolutely
broken ribs?
It's been a good. Can I say a little bit more about what it was like to be and I wanted to talk a little bit more.
Well, too, and that's probably cities, awesome people that haven't hit. Oops.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then it's gonna be playing and echoing back, and just eternally like that Bo Burnham thing. Yeah. Well, it was a lot of fun. I want to talk mostly about San Diego, which was
that your favorite city?
Well, Well, in terms of the spots that I hit, the clubs that I went there, and then also Phoenix was, and because the set that I did at Stir Crazy is I think some of the hardest I've ever killed in my life.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And
that was Phoenix.
In Phoenix.
Westgate.
Yeah, exactly. Right by the stadium in Glendale. Yeah. It was a big. Well, there were two things that really opened my eyes doing comedy in other cities. One is like in certain cities, like for instance in Santa Barbara, I got booked on like the only weekly showcase that they have there in the entire town. You know, they don't have any comedy there unless there's like a headliner that comes through and does the Arlington. I felt very grateful for Austin, not only how much comedy there is here, but people actually know how to do it. Like, for instance, the host was a really personable and nice guy, and the crowd, you know, and he was easy to listen to, but he did about 25 minutes up top. And
Jesus Christ.
and got about 3 laughs during that time.
Holy shit.
In that aspect, but I think he's good as a host.
Did you get how long he'd been doing comedy?
No, but he had gray hair, you know. Like,
okay.
So
I see with
I don't know if this was like a new thing, but he had been hosting that weekly showcase for 2 years.
Okay. Oh shit.
So at least 2 years.
Yeah. So but then, and so I felt like grateful for how much comedy there, and also like when I was in Albuquerque is a very small city. Like I felt like the humor out here in Austin, both in the sophistication, like there was like a lot of like Albuquerque specific humor. People feel a strong identity.
Breaking Bad was filmed near here.
Yeah, right. yeah. This the host at the show that I did. He had a whole bit, and it was actually quite funny. This whole bit about Walter White and Saul.
Jesus Christ!
Like you do the whole bit. You do the whole set already.
What? I've been to too many cities.
They made a bronze statue of them outside of the convention center. He's like, "Who are we memorializing in our city? These are meth dealers, yo." Yeah. And so
Philadelphia gets rocky. You guys get.
Philadelphia. Yeah, you're right. Bill Burr has had a lot to say about that. Right. So there are towns like that really made me feel grateful for Austin, but then also realize like how much Austin has in terms of potential to grow, and like being in a place like Phoenix or San Diego that had so many established comedy clubs, where night after night for decades and decades, like comedy has been practiced in this space. And people know where to go to show up for it. They are educated about how to be in a comedy audience. They're into comedy. They're excited to be there. You know, they're there for the live entertainment. And as a result, it's way easier to kill. I'm still working on this. Yeah, and it's so much fun, and the people there were so welcoming, and I love
now,
doing it.
Do you think the scene in Phoenix, because I know Florida, they're happy staying there. They don't really want to travel. They don't want to be road dogs. Do you think that was the feeling in Phoenix, or these guys
actually
trying to get out there?
Phoenix is huge.
Phoenix has a lot of people coming into it, more or less. There's not very many stable comics there.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that come into Phoenix and then go out. So you'll see a lot of traveling comics.
Yeah, John Carden used to live there.
So that was the vibe. It was like people just dropped in for this.
I don't know if I was there for long enough to like get my finger on that kind of pulse.
So as somebody who went to comedy there all the time, I never saw local people.
Never. Okay.
Yeah. So
I mean, I guess it's like close enough for LA and San Diego to get out there. Or
like where he was at the one
Stir Crazy.
They have a couple of stand up comics that are local. They do a couple opening shows. Yeah. But it's not.
And I think a lot of people on the open mic. Well, there were a number of people on the open mic who just tried it for their first time that night, and they didn't do bad, but they just didn't know what they were doing exactly. Nobody turned the crowd off with anything that they said. Some people didn't know.
No one went over the line.
That's good because if somebody bombs really so hard that nobody wants to be there,
that's not ideal.
A big problem. But also I felt like that set me up nicely. Well, people said that I killed the hardest of all the people that were on that mic. I thought there was one other guy. Ray Earl, I think it was, is this gay black dude, is like super funny, super loud. He brought a lot of energy. I thought he killed, but people said it's like, no, you did the best. Yeah.
Well, you also, I think this is the benefit of living in a city like Austin or LA or New York.
Yes.
Or Chicago. You have such competition.
Yes, and I realized that.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And then I could go visit places and be a killer because there's Yeah, right. Because there's so much competition, and then like, well, like, oh, because just 5 weeks ago or so, I was feeling like a big crisis in like my competence or my ability to perform comedy well. Partly it's because like hosting this show is nervous because I really want to do a good job. But then also I feel like it's the responsibilities on my shoulder. I feel a lot more comfortable with that now, though. I think it's going to be good.
Well, and it's also you feel the difference of a solid room and like we got some chairs and a few people are here, but it's like is this like a
right?
packed?
For instance, like at the show tonight, even if the restaurant is packed, it's like I'm not going to be able to kill like even if I'm like totally on point and everything, I won't be able to kill the way that I did at Stir Crazy, because not only because like things were warmed up at that point, but also is the like audience educated or what, and
are they
like
there for comedy?
Well, they're basically all going to be there for comedy, but it's not going to be the same because it's not going to be like a comedy club because a comedy club has like a culture of comedy associated with it.
Right.
But I forget what I was saying. It's fine.
Well, and there's also the difference of comedy clubs, like a comedy store, like we hope Rogan's will be, where it's like we have our guys, we have our pen of comics that are here every night. Or like somewhere in the middle of Wisconsin where it's like these guys come in and they leave.
Right. And they all drive 20, 30.
I like to be able to eat at a comedy club.
You do?
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't. And I know a lot of comics don't like it.
Don't like when they serve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I appreciate good food at a comedy club.
I mean, it's nice. I also think like there's a level.
Like I want a steak. I've
had like basically fine dining restaurants in a comedy club. I'm like, what are you doing? When you have to when the server has to ask like 6 questions to how do you want that done? How do you
instead of it just being fried shrimp or something.
Well, it's like even like burgers is a bad comedy club food.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how do you want that done? Do you want that with fries or onion rings, sweet potato fries?
Our tomatoes okay.
Actually, can I get this off it? Can I, it's got, we have a chicken and cheese quesadilla. We got these
give
pizzas.
Give it to them how you give it to them.
Yeah. It's like, here it is. So.
Well, I know Rogan's not going to do food. That's why. Yeah. That's one of the things he's against. So I know that's,
Well, and so when I interviewed as like a bartender, she was like, do you want to serve? And I was like, I mean, I can. I don't think you want me serving. Yeah. She's like, well, why is that? I was like, I'm 6'3".
Yeah.
You want a guy 6'3" walking around blocking people's view? And she's like, that's a good point. I was like, that's something you should keep in mind while you're interviewing people. Keep the tall guys behind the bar. If you got a 5-foot dude coming in, throw him out there. He's good. He's got it.
You have all these good insights. You're a very strategic thinker.
That's
cool.
That's
smart guy.
Also, like working in clubs, I bartended at clubs and shit like that.
Yeah,
and you should be general manager of Rogan's Club.
Yeah. You think he'll hire me? Hey, this asshole from Chicago that always wears gym shorts and flip flops. He's the guy. Get him in.
Yeah, for the open call next week. Like, I'm actually not here for bar backing. I want to manage this place.
I got some real good ideas that can shape this place into whip this place into shape.
So Phoenix was your favorite city. Now I've done San Francisco a few times. Where'd you go and how'd you feel about that?
Oh, San Francisco. I was hoping to find some. I was hoping to find some spots beforehand, like on shows, but I wound up getting an open mic. Well, a couple open mics actually, and that was fun. Well, so the first night I went to one open mic and it was a lot of fun. Got to know people and they sort of set me up with where to go the next night. Unfortunately, the next night there was such a torrent of rain and wind. Like trees were falling across the street and stuff like that. It was a really serious storm, so everything got canceled. But it wasn't too bad because I'd made friends from the night before and we just hung out that night. And
it's a good city to hang out in. It's
fun. Oh my god!
And you poop right on the street.
Yeah, and do heroin at the same time. Yeah, right. What are you doing? I'm shitting and shooting up. Leave me alone.
Yeah, and nobody said anything because the water just washed everything away when we were done. Yeah.
What was it very homeless? Like how would it compare to the homeless crowd here?
Oh, I didn't actually have any interactions with them.
Are there homeless people better than ours? We want the best homeless.
I want to know. Do they ask for $1 or do they ask for like 10?
Well, right. Well, it is San Francisco.
Yeah, come on,
inflation.
Man. I need to go with Voodoo Donuts here. It's very expensive. I guess we have one too.
Curiously enough, I mean, I was there for 2.5 days. I didn't run into a single homeless person the entire time that I was there. Yeah, I mean, and I was in the middle of the city for kind of long enough time. But there
Well,
was
interesting.
Yeah, no issues. Well, I probably saw some people like camping out in the street or something, but I didn't have any interactions. No, and I think that the support services there are a lot more sophisticated for homeless people than they are here in Austin, which is maybe one of the reasons why they're so aggressive out in these streets.
Yeah.
Which I think.
Well, you said it was raining, so maybe they were like, "Let's get you shelter. Let's help you out."
That too, right?
That could
cool.
be.
That's interesting to know. So San Francisco, did you do perform comedy out there or no?
Yeah, no, I did that one mic, and that was a lot of fun.
Did you know what it was called?
And what was it's at a place called Neck of the Woods on Clement Street, two streets south of Lake Street. And so it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and got to meet new people. And that was one of the. So I did it. Tucson, Santa Barbara, and San Francisco. So that was the third city that I did it in. But it was also cool to like meet all the open micers and then go up and then get a bunch of laughs and then have a feeling like I earned everybody's respect. Right. That happened in Tucson too. It's like then suddenly like people are like, oh, they want to hang out with you and they want to talk to you. And so that was a really good feeling, and then I made some good social connections as a result too.
Yeah, that's a big part. You like going around seeing people, be like, hey, buddy.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And then if one of them is a booker and they're like, hey, next time you're in town, let me know.
Well, that's always been something I think we need to fix or whatever, start in Austin, because we're like the new frontier. We're the wild lands. People don't know.
What is it we need to fix?
We need to get like I don't know how we'd even do it, but like we need to get a system going so we could have, because so many comics from like LA, New York, San Francisco are going to want to come out here.
Visiting comics,
so it's like,
things like that.
Well, even just like, oh, we got a couch you can sleep on, like, and like a way we could like vet people that they're normal people,
like a bark network, or like I'm thinking of like 101 Dalmatians when all the dogs are going, oh. Yeah, it's like this guy needs a place to sleep.
A deep cut.
It was. Anyway, yeah.
But maybe it's like because we want
a Facebook group.
Well, and even not even just like couches to sleep on, but like you said, getting them in so that we could go out to New York and not be like the weird guy that just showed up and is expecting to get on.
Comic exchange program.
Like foreign exchange. Where it's like,
surfing.
Austin was cool, and then they could go back to New York and be like, Austin is actually a fucking cool city.
All right.
Because they're all shit talking us. They're all like, oh, everyone's going. Oh, absolutely. I've been there.
Well, if they are, fuck them.
But then that's what I'm saying.
No, give them a couch, is what he said.
Yeah, that's right. I agree.
Right. Yeah. Well, and then when we go out there, because like
only if they want to fuck you.
Yeah. I think even like people who've only been doing comedy like 2-3 years,
it's trying.
Okay.
Should definitely experience New York and LA because there's such different styles of comedy, and like what it's like to be a comedian there. So if you could go to New York and be like, hey, I'm an Austin guy. We'll put you up when you come out. Can you put me up a couple places? Yeah. And they'll be like, yeah, all right, we got you.
Yeah, exactly.
I just think with how transient our capabilities are, we should be out there experiencing and it makes you a better road comic.
Yeah,
so when you're on the road, you're like, I know these styles.
You learn the differences in humor. Like, like in San Francisco, I wasn't going to drop an F-bomb,
Yeah. An Airbnb without money for comics.
Yeah, right? Yeah. That's cool.
Well, I mean, that's one extreme. I don't know how many people are like, I'm opening up my couch to strangers. But like, just anything that could make your visit
you could call
more
it banter
reasonable.
Barter for comic. Booking and couches for comics.
Well, and even that, it could be like, I made $50 because I let comics sleep on it instead of having to spend $200.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and the difference between sleeping in your car and sleeping on a couch or in a bed, as I've discovered these last couple of weeks, huge. Like sleeping in the backseat of your car, or even putting down the seats, because then there's that like weird crease, and that you really have to have.
Well, it's like something even just like insight. Like a lot of people don't know, February is the time to go to New York. Flights are cheap. Really? Most restaurants have like 2-for-1 deals on meals, so food's cheap. Like it's because no one's there. Everyone traveled there for like New Year's and Christmas, so all the service industries really begging people to get in. So there's literally like booklets of coupons that most restaurants have, being like, "Yo, go explore New York." And it's like it's like this is the time to go. If you want to go cheap, go to New York now. So it's like stuff like that people could give. as like insight that would help you.
Yeah, the local knowledge, as my Irish friend said. Yeah,
because I have so many comics being like, I want to go try New York, or I want to try LA. I was like, well, February, March, is end of January is a good time.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I know a good time to go to Universal Studios is March in LA.
I used to live right next to it. I'd never been.
I love that VIP tour, man. We used to go all the time. It's you get your own little trim, and it's like 12 other people. You get your own. It's a fucking nice experience. Going behind the back, the exit of all the rides. You get first in line.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it.
The only time I'd been to Universal was when I worked at a production company, and we had to reshoot like a bedroom scene. And they're like, you have to go find this blanket. And I was like, how hard can it be? And I go in. And
in the warehouse?
In the warehouse.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And I was like, they're like, well, that whole building's blankets. Yeah. It should be between these 3 alleys. And I was like, so I'm like climbing up like those old library ladders.
Is this it?
And then I was so hungover that I took like an hour-long nap. I jumped into the blankets and just slept
onto one of the shelves.
And the ladder moved, so I had to be like, "Hey, I was up here looking," and then I remember I was like joking around with the guy showing me. I was like, "Oh, you got the Ark of the Covenant in here." He's like, "Yeah, it's actually right on that." Like, what the fuck, bro?
As a matter of fact, this warehouse is the warehouse that you see in the movie.
Like, oh, okay. Yeah. Long story short, they didn't have the blanket. They rented it out.
Oh, wow.
And so we had to go pay another, which they're like, oh, we haven't shot the scene yet, so it's no big deal. But we really like this blanket. We think it's the one for this scene.
Oh my god!
So we had to pay them $1,000
to get it back?
Send them a different blanket.
Holy shit!
That was basically the same
that you guys couldn't use.
We couldn't use because we had continuity. Yeah, we already shot, so it was like, ugh.
Wow.
This is how fucking stupid. And then people are like, oh, I want to get a job in Hollywood. I was like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
It's 3 days fighting for a blanket that you then have to ship to New York, priority for $150. So it gets there in 6 hours, and people just losing their mind, and and then the director's at a award show for fucking bullshit. Mm-hmm. Fuck, I'm getting a cramp. It's a weird thing to do in a podcast.
That's what happens when you hit the ribs working out.
You've been bedridden for.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
I'm still in frame.
Yeah.
Look at you guys. I'm here for you.
Yeah. That's a good camera guy.
My mouth is full. You pick up the bam.
You're doing a good job, man. You're filling it in.
Right, I'm feeling something.
With the smacks here.
Yeah, we got our ADR guys on it.
Yeah, no, I think definitely an exchange program's cool. I think finding other places to go, being a comic elsewhere is definitely good. Like you said, Austin is a good place to get your chops in. There's so many different types of mics here to learn different things.
Well, like you were talking, you realize how competent you are.
Yeah, and realize, and that also there being so many open mics have given me so much opportunity to get on stage. Like, I haven't kept track of the whole, I now have 850 comedy videos uploaded onto my YouTube from these past 2 years, but I think I've gotten on, because I didn't start filming myself until about a year, so I think I've probably gotten on stage around 1,500 times or so.
Wow.
And so that number of reps in 2 years is something that well, if you're paying attention even somewhat, it's going to be way better than if you say do 200 spots in 2 years.
Yeah. How much time do you give on the Irene show?
10 minutes. Yeah.
10 minutes, okay. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing that we don't have a 20-minute mic. So people could get reps as a feature and then start mic.
Yeah, but then
not a mic, but something.
Oh, okay.
So people are
yeah, but feature spots are more 15, right?
Yeah,
15
it depends where you go, and it depends on we've had at the club I used to work at, we had headliners that only do 38.
Okay.
So then the feature and the opener have to.
If you have if you're booked on a lot of 10-minute shows, then
you should be able to figure it out.
Right. Then you have two. You can have 2 10-minute sets.
What's the secret show usually? 15, 20 person?
I think it's 10 to 15.
Yeah, I think 10 to 15. Yeah.
I noticed it seemed like it was a long set for some of those comics. Yeah.
Well, that's the other. It's if you don't learn how to weave a longer set.
Yeah.
It's hard, because you have to kind of have a little up and down throughout it. So you get, and it's just it's good to learn how to feature, and it's good. Right. So when you do stuff like this, you could be like, oh, I do 20 minutes twice a month. and they'd be like, "Oh, we actually have this guy coming in. Do you want to feature?" Oh yeah, shit like that.
About the Secret Show, man. I want to do that show so bad.
Is it that? I've never been.
I haven't. I've been to. I've seen them. I haven't.
Well, I know that like the audiences aren't always like that. They're not
as
like
full.
Packed, right?
Yeah.
But I was just thinking about it. It's like in terms of say like the quality of stage time I get to going to some random open mic.
Right.
It's like so many more people. They're all paying attention. They're there for comedy. They're educated on like word plays and shit like that. And so you just get so much more out of them, and you get a more accurate response because you have a larger sample size too on how people are responding to
Do they put the guys from Kill Tony up front, or is it spread, or what?
Well, Yonder Wizard opens it up like with a musical act a lot of times.
Okay.
I
it's
think they're spread out.
Yeah, there's not like Uncle Laser will do a set.
Sometimes he do 10 minutes.
He does like 15, 20.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He's very good for
I've seen him feature or not do a good set over at the Creek like on a Wednesday.
15, okay.
Yeah, done like 15, 20.
Okay,
because I've seen some.
Was that
like,
Creek in the Cage?
No, just a regular.
Okay,
yeah.
Best of the West. Okay,
Yeah,
right.
So he does. Did he do more like his off the cuff stuff or more written?
More written stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, he has some actual.
He is developing that.
Yeah, he's
tool.
really good. And the thing is, like, he's also a very smart guy.
Yeah.
Not everybody recognizes it or realizes it or would think that he is just
Right.
because of his appearance and all. Yeah, but he's very intelligent.
Well, working on those he works on oil rig.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You have to be like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have to.
Know,
There's like math and stuff. Like I had a buddy that did. And first off, they paid very well.
Yeah.
Right.
And part of that is
I
the
drove
danger.
past a lot of those in New Mexico.
Yeah.
I was imagining I see Uncle Laser up on one of
So,
them.
hey, Derek.
Hey, I'm on you, Derek.
Playing his harmonica. When life gets me a little blue.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, that's. I think it's because I'm not super tight with all the door guys there, so I feel bad being like, okay, get in and watch the Secret Show.
Yeah.
I know people do it, but
I'm
sure they're fine.
The Secret Show is definitely easier to get in on.
Yeah,
than like
don't be afraid of
Rogan.
it. Just show up. Yeah.
But like even Rogan, you can get in, sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the Creek.
Yeah.
At Vulcan.
Yeah, but the Creek's easy. Yeah.
Oh, so that's the other thing is she said like we're thinking of like we're gonna do Joe Rogan show, so we're gonna have the door guy showcase before, and I think it was like she was like 2-3 minutes. It's not gonna be long, but we'll have you all up, and there'll be fans of comedy, and then Joe's gonna come
early
on.
comers.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it's also like, I technically opened for Joe Rogan.
Yeah, you did.
That would be tight.
You can put
So
that in
now
the
a
credit.
lot of people get that credit.
Yeah.
It's like, and then suddenly people are, like
Everybody's open for Joe
everyone
Rogan.
in Austin is
this
open for
booker
Joe
in New
Rogan.
York is like, there are 10 people from Austin that told me they opened for Joe Rogan. It must be lying.
That was Tuesday, actually. We
Like
all did.
The funny thing too is gonna be like, how much is it gonna be like interview? Because it's like you still have to do the job of a door guy.
Yeah.
And how much is gonna be like, this guy's at 9 at comedy, but it's like Ryer cameraman who's like not gonna beat up some
can't
throw a guy out. You're like funny as shit, but like you can't turn someone away.
I think she might have went home for a while.
Back to Chicago,
Wisconsin.
Oh, Wisconsin. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, because she was supposed to have that show on Wednesdays. I was booked on it.
Oh, no,
and then
like
she
back
emailed
on
me.
home indeterminately?
I don't know. Yeah, because she
not.
had a show, and she was also supposed to be roommates with
the blonde
Audrey.
girl?
Audrey?
Yeah, and
Audrey just
Audrey's
posted. I
looking
just
now
saw
she's
that.
looking for a roommate.
Yeah.
It's weird how much like we know that now because of Instagram. I'm like, I know Ryer needs a place to stay. I know Audrey has like an empty room that she doesn't want pets in.
You guys think I should? You guys think I should get that spot with Audrey? Relive the roast battle.
Yeah, every morning. Cold ass. I got my cold cereal and my cold pussy down here.
Out of bed. I let the cat out. You asshole.
So yeah.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah,
she's funny.
Yeah, she had that showcase, and then it got canceled, and then I think she went back.
like,
home.
fuck it.
Oh right, well, because she was going to do the impressions.
Right?
Right?
I was booked on it for last Wednesday.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
So what was your impression?
No, I
gonna
was
be?
so.
I was gonna do a
looking forward
mime.
to that. Okay. That's real.
It's got 2 laughs already.
How much time was that going to be? I don't know. 10 minutes.
I think the idea. Well, I would have to see it. I want to.
It's got to be hard to write for that.
Have you ever met Kiki? Have you ever met Kiki?
For it.
That girl who does improvisational clown. Where it's like miming, but you can vocalize, but you just can't say any words. So like, how would it?
Like a fucking sim.
No, but she's funny though. It's a very interesting art form.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clowning or what
Well,
she
this
does or whatever.
improvisational clown. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. I
But
never
this
heard
was
of it
an
before.
imitation mic, not an improv.
Impression.
Impression mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're gonna do a mime.
I was gonna do an impression.
I look forward to
mine.
seeing that when she.
I
comes
want to
back
know who
into town.
Ryer was gonna.
Yeah, probably Jim,
I'm Brad
Jim
Pitt.
Carrey.
Like what?
Yeah, and then who's the other one? Julia Roberts.
She could do.
the other
Yeah,
one.
she could do
looks
Jim
like
Carrey.
Julia Roberts.
I could see.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Because she's also like does all those faces. And
Yeah.
stuff. Like, when she's on stage. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I was doing earlier, and like she like pretends to stutter in one of her jokes, and she's saying who.
Well, it's funny. I always see her writing, and I was like, how do you write? Like, do you just write who, and then you just know, like you're gonna, or do you?
Well, she must
or does
be
her thing
vocalizing
say
it.
WHO?
There are those comics who write every point out.
Right. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't even do like a word perfect. I write like an idea.
Yeah.
Because if I'm on, I get way too tense if I'm trying to be like word perfect
reciting,
for it. Yeah.
Reciting.
And then it's like, and then they're like, "What's this guy just saying words at me?"
But you want to be an actor too, though, right?
I don't do word perfect there either.
No.
I mean, if it's like a small, like the roles I've had have been pretty small, so it's like,
So
can you
you're
say
allowed
this
to.
sentence? It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
But if I'm doing like,
if you had a script to memorize,
I'd be fine. It's just like, if it's like, oh, I said instead of I'd be like, sorry guys, like we're gonna have to just get over this, or we'll ADR it. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. Some like I know Kevin Smith wants every word said, but there's like Chris Guest who
doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. You get
It
a
also
scene.
depends on how good the dialogue is. Like I feel like a number of J.J. Abrams projects could have been improved with some improvised dialogue. Yeah.
Well, it's one thing when the director is the writer too, and like, because some director, do you think Michael Bay gives a fuck? He's you're supposed to say fuck Optimus Prime. Like, you probably don't.
We need more fire is all he cares about. Yeah.
Do you see him yelling at the kid for the ambulance movie?
No.
It was called
Michael
Ambulance,
Bay?
right? Yeah. So he's always trying new like tech shit, and him and James Cameron do that weird fucking.
They're futurists.
So he wanted to do like a drone shots, like crazy. He's like, all right, so we're gonna get a really small camera. We're gonna do the drone shot, and so he hired like the best drone operator, and it's a kid. It's a 14-year-old kid, of course. And so they're like, we're gonna have you go up, over, up, flip, fly down under the ambulance, come back and see it, and like he's like, and cars flipping, fires are going. He's like, this shot is gonna cost me like $500,000, so you have to get it right. And it's a kid. He's like. It's not technical for him because the tricks he does are crazy. Yeah. So like the kid's like, yeah, I got it, and he's like, no, you motherfucker, like you gotta get it right.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, yeah, I got it, bro. Don't worry, this is nothing. Like, you could just see it was like this weird like generational gap
so worried
between
about
the two
this,
of them.
putting this money in this kid's hands,
and it's like it'd be like telling someone to like. Those kids like basketball hoops. Yeah. And be like, can you dunk on it? It's like, yeah. Like, that's how easy it was for the guy. And Michael Bay just had no idea.
He's used to following mountain bikers as they rip down these European streets in their street racing.
Yeah. He's used to cameramen that like he's used to like six cameramen doing one thing.
I'm on contract with Red Bull.
Yeah.
I got it, bro. Yeah.
The kid was basically like, yeah, no problem. And he's like, what the fuck? It is a problem if you fuck it up. He's like, yeah, I won't fuck it up.
How's your ribs been holding up? We've been.
It's all right. They kind of like stretch. It's worse when I wake up.
Okay.
Was it worth coming out for, man?
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time.
Cool, glad you came out and joined us.
Definitely.
Derek, appreciate you coming out, brother.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me back.
Throw in there before we wrap it up at an hour and 40.
No, just thank you all so much. Appreciate the hell out of you, and see you at the Irene show tonight.
Yeah, come to see Irene's on Sunday.
It's so good.
Come to Kill Tony. We're all three getting pulled this week. Now, if we do, we're fucked. Yeah. They're gonna be like these guys.
Yeah, finally, rigged. So Kill Tony, we're gonna do it. Derek, you gonna be in there on the bucket on Monday?
Possibly. I've got to figure out what I'm gonna do tomorrow.
I know your Sundays are pretty busy. They wear you out. So
yeah, but tomorrow I'm not sure what I'm gonna do because I just got back into town, so I just have to do some life admin stuff first, and then I'll figure out what my comedy night looks like.
Cool, man. Well, hope to see you there. I know I'll see you there.
And hopefully Buckshot's
will be there. $2 250
Get us through the misery. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to count those dollars. All right, man. Well, thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
We out of here.
Peace out. Cool. Thanks, Chad.
Yeah, brother.
Oh, dude, it feels so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.